Hey, some people there. Hello. Put that stamp on there. International law activated. Anybody can go on UnitedStates.gov courts, United States Courts, uscourts.gov. Set you up an account. You guys all got credit cards and PayPal and Zelle and all that kind of stuff. I don't have that stuff. This is done from somebody else's computer. Help me out to be able to view the court filing, the court docket. So back in 2013, I went through this case right here. Just be hopey. Don't be hopeless. Don't be hopeless and helpless. Aro odato shado aro odat. Oh, yate, bene. Good day, good afternoon. In the East Coast, it's probably afternoon. Over here in Arizona, out in POW camp, Arizona. Yate to Rock Wayne from the FCJ. I'm still at it. Maybe FCJ is the facility. I don't remember. Today I'm sharing some knowledge about my court case that I'm doing. It's a treason court case against a judge. It's about 3 of them. Treason is punishable by hanging, that they said. Military, admiralty, military tribunal, international law says those things. So by forcing this court case and enforcing the rule of law on judges that swear oath on Bibles, and also the officers that protect them. There was, in this case out of California, there I'm fighting, and I took it into the federal court case. So the latest filing is on November the 3rd, 2025. This is page 1 of 25 exhibit documents that I'm sharing with them to review it in this matter here, in violation of Article 6, Section 2. Says that treaties are the supreme law of the land. I I have verified that I am Nine, that I am still a diplomat 13-032, and that I'm in the court case here with the California state, and that's the court case number right there. And I put attention to the court clerk here, JW, and attached our certified case docket 03751, the year 2016. What is it? It's a writ of mandate in an application for affidavit for free process. I want you to this to be received and filed as exhibits in case New York versus NEE number 1310007. This is to be received. And then pursuant to the Turo Wampum Treaty Belt 1612 and a peaceful coexistence, I put my mark right here like this, my thumb, to all the above and before mentioned. This was on Monday, the 27th at 4 o'clock p.m. So it's the 27th to 3rd. It's filed, and it's like proclaimed that this is full right of authoring this word structure all the way back to that year, Friday the 13th, by author Nene. Status sovereign Teneh Bikea, living law and inland native survivor. And I reserve all my rights, reservation of my rights, and there's my handprint, all in there. Then I write to this I wrote to this court clerk on October the 12th or something, and he received it, put it in the file over there. That on October 6th I was requesting a letter of request. So any of you that wants to know this kind of knowledge, how does Nene win? How does he do it? It's all in this court case right there. And over here in Albany, I'm showing you this because it's every day that these motherfuckers, skinwalkers, and Social Security agents are trying to kill me every day. My spirit, my mind, my heart. They just got done killing this phone right here just to try to share it with you all. So I ask you all to copy this and save it with your life. With your life. I put my life on the line to do what I'm doing here for what is called peace. And it's on this belt that that peace is restored. It's not being restored by no Republic or Democrat. Those are the ones who destroy it. And then they have native allies called Iroquois. So back in 2013, I took this Turo Wampum Treaty Belt away from them. And I own it. I carry it on my back into court, up the mountains, through the river, through the woods, through the desert, to Window Rock, to Phoenix, to Santa Fe, to Mexico, Canadico, across the water, into the water, by boat, by air. I live this belt day to day, and I do my best to carry it respectfully and honorably and sing songs and pray with this instrument bestowed on me. So it's important to you because it is a peace treaty that's made for as long as the sun shines and the grass grows and the river flows. So if it is those three things, then it's important to you. And a lot of you, it's hidden from your eyes and your. So for 1755, I asked and sent the envelope, told him to send all this stuff back to me right here. What I'm going to show you. It was all these things right here. I request my exhibits and the motion, the writs, the questions presented, and all authenticated documents filed and received, time stamped into to this case 0375116 2016. So this is where you guys can all get your own certified copy that you can attach into your court case. Court cases, your writ of habeas corpuses, your writ of mandate orders. And you save your paper trail for such purpose as this. If any of you are a friend of Nene right there and his clan mother right there, the X means his clan mother, and that is how you spell his name right there. He's at that address right there, P0 PO Box 501, Pinon, Pinon, Arizona. And I fucked up right there, but it still got to me. It's 86510. 86510. So it came through Winslow to get to this port of entry at Pinon. There, but if you want to send me some homage, that means payment, a money order, a note to from your clan mothers and your headmen that acknowledge my clan mother, Twitichini, and headmen. They can send donation or gift to there right there. That's the wrong one. It's 86510. Just now barely saw it. Who knows whatever other mistakes I made, but so they sent all of this back, all stamped, filed, the receipt right there, and there it is, everybody. This kind of thing to to apply for a court case, and you rent the court building for $210. That's just to apply. It probably costs a couple thousand to rent it for hour or two or three or something like that. And then that fucking black robe, they call it judge. You're renting all their time. I don't know what much hours they go in there being administrative personnel working on a Bible oath. So right there, Nene, against St. Regis Mohawk Tribe, DUNS number 797-816-647. To the Neh people, I'm showing you how to fight your ruler, Boo Nygren, and Rochelle Montoya if you want. Or or the DOJ or any of these agents and agencies that work for Kit Carson and DC and Donald Trump, even though it's defunct and it's out of business and bankrupt, you guys are still going along with it. So Shibahoni Z, I learned about this a ways back. I went to jail over this stuff, and I got to the time where I'm not gonna go to prison over being a John Doe anymore. Because I learned there's a difference at 27 years old that I remember what Shamasana told me. Shkore, don't go out there. Shiyaj, don't go out there. We're Twitchini, the Wilte there. Nani Kaya, Hachopago, yeah, ko ati. We were still barely surviving from that trauma from 1868, Wilte. And here I'm still living through it. And some of my clan relatives, aunt, uncle, grandmothers, they don't go the route that I am. It's not, it's okay. I'm trying to go home up there to the sky world. Yeah, Asho, you know. All these dates, I do this to them. They try to call me on that birthday. I do things back on the calendar dates that they try to do things to me too. I was staying at Joey Arquette's home over there, trying to help him. July 11 p.m. I gave these documents and said, "Happy birthday to your entity, that Joe Emerson, Emerson Joe entity, 71173 is giving you a serving from the grave, from the entity world." And so they received it, and there it is right there. To proceed as a living man, you don't have all these dollars and counterfeit, so you fill this out. You're a living man, living woman. So 2016, you guys do the math. How much years ago is that? So for a lot of years, this Iroquois shit has been trying to hurt, harm me, even though I helped them. They don't appreciate the help, just like Navajo and Lakota and all of you casino tribes. You don't appreciate Doug Burgum kind of people, BIA kind of people, BLM kind of people, Department of Interior kind of people. So this is your VIP tribe: Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Deborah Pocahontas Holland, Doug Pokemon, Burgum. This is your VIP go-to tribe right here, the Saint Money Mohawk tribe. I call them the Duck tribe, Quack Quack, right? Donald Smoke, right? Ernest David kind, Turtle kind, Bear Clan. So right there, I did this from your house. I was there living in the community right there by the triangle. With Gastoa, with that headdress that was there. trying to put that headdress on. Nature of judicial intervention. They're supposed to have these kind in your Supreme Court. So any of you can go to the Supreme Court, and most of you don't know how to fill in the blanks and stuff like that. So right here, me, I put other nature of action or proceeding. Other. I'm coming as a headman with authority. So my right here is that called writ of mandate order, and it's treated like a habeas corpus, like it's a high writ, decree, document, order, and these are people and agents that work for entity. Has summons and complaint or summons with notice been filed? No. Summons been served? No. Is the action proceeding being filed post judgment? No. Notice of motion, poor person, return date 7/29/16, address page, date, attorney, registration number right there. Not applicable. Sue juris, sir juris. UCC 1308, UCC 1308, Nene, Nene. Albany Court Clerk, July 11, 2016, 12:42. Okay, so there's double copies. Okay, sorry. In the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of, in the matter of the application of Nene for permission to prosecute as a poor person against the St. Regis Mohawk tribe, a DUNS number, defendant. Is the affidavit in support of application to proceed as a poor person received September 20, 2016, Albany County. This is the counter complaint right here. Okay, I hope you're all awake. Get off your fingers. I hope you're doing something right here. I hope you're taking some screenshots. I hope you're recording it, saving it, something. So you can learn how to fill out a writ or your documents. Who's the attorney and counsel of record for these people? Well, at that time was Eric T. Schneiderman, and the governor was called Andrew Cuomo. And remember, this is their VIP Indian tribe that are sainted. Money is their name. In July 11, 2016, after I went to the rainbow gathering over there at Vermont, I went with two rainbows. Helped me out. They assisted me to go down here to do this. Helen Redfeather from Wounded Knee. She was there at Vermont. We made a sweat lodge in Neepy up there on that mountain, Vermont. The Green Mountains, they call it. I had some tobacco that I got from one of those tobacco shops. Had some bags there, so I went up there. I needed some cash to do this stuff right here. Some of those St. Regis Mohawk tribes, they're so fucking arrogant and rich. They look like white people, act like white people. They threw away all these factory tobacco cigarettes. Some they threw in the trash. Some it was just a little bit of a little tear or something wrong with it. They threw it away. So and some of them some people gathered those baggies back up and sold it for like $1 a carton or $2 or I had a little bit, so I thought I'll grab these tobacco and I'll recycle them, I'll resell them, retrade them enough to do this court case right here. That's how I did it. I took a duffel bag, I had a backpack full of tobacco. Maybe some of you rainbows remember over there. Michael was over there and Red Dog and remember hanging there for a couple of days before I took off. Ate some good medicine there. We built that sweat lodge up there. Me and some of them rainbows and I let Helen be unchi there to help me out. I called on her to be unchi and carry the chanupa and that inipi. And I prayed about this documents right here that they'll be accepted and everything will be smooth. Everything went smooth the way the prayer went. And there was a lot of thunder beams. Wakia came down and lit us up over there. And we celebrate life there in that gathering. International gathering they had around that time right there. I was thinking of these things for this court case, these people here that do witchcraft. I thought I'll do it back on these days right here to them. So there is supposed to be change at these places right here. I don't live there in this area, but you Iroquois were supposed to take on this thing, but because you didn't, that's why I confiscated that Turo Wampum Treaty Belt that I'm still carrying around today. So non-trusting Nene has inspected your document titled subpoena and hereby orders the writ of mandate based on a merit of non-acceptance of involuntary trusteeship. The St. Regis Mohawk Tribe Police Department requested to solicit services upon me via an act of unwanted performance in an attempt to validate and express consent on this matter of involuntary suretyship, trusteeship via subpoena for adjudication. An ill-fated attempt to cause an irreparable breach in trust. Solicitation served at a private locale on Bombay Town Court, 2013 to 2016. For that many years, you tried to prosecute me. You denied my motions. So, to non trustee is now declined. This was back then. There are no trustees that's called those names and aliases. There are no trustees at this locale. Case and points to make claim are moot. Statements presented in a general jurisdiction municipality are without recourse or remedy. Statements presented in a general jurisdiction municipality are without recourse or remedy. The subpoena is returned without consideration in good faith. All inherent rights reserved with prejudice without recourse. That this town defines what is a town when using the title Bombay Town of. That this town defines what is a state and define what is state of New York. And that this town defined body politic, person, and individual in use of a summons. I have no challenge for the record, as I am a sovereign denehman, and according to the laws of equity, the state was supposed to protect the man, women, and children of this country. According to your laws, you deemed the people disabled by legal claim, making all men and women disabled, whereby, without recourse, and with the right to remain silent, on all matters you probate of your estate for your enjoyment, excluding the living man or woman. However, it shall be without my signature nor my consent. Those in receivership at this locale are men and women of the preamble status quo, antebellum and law of survivorship law. There are no persons in care of locale as defined by the bar. To entertain this matter would be in violation of the Copyright Act and the Crown Copyright Act and the U.S. model. Page 16 of 35. Whereas the entities described above, in fact, may not commingle with the natural private men and women. Read it again. Read it out loud, all of you. Like we're at school in Sovereignty Class 1001. Whereas the entities described above, in fact, may not commingle with the natural private man and woman. And especially if that private man is a headman and that lady is a head lady, a head clan mother lady, residing inland for our not being like in kind. You and they are a corporation entity, and we are the living, and they may not give orders to the living, for they too would be in violation of the highest order in maxims of law. The created, that means a social security number, just as a creation out of bankruptcy scam. The created cannot be greater than the creator. That's the yin, usin, Sakaiwa Diso, Wankan Tonka, Tonka Shila, Onchimaka. Your clan mother is the highest here on this land. under Creator, the sun and the moon. The created cannot be greater than the clan mother and the headman. They are under the sun and the moon. There's nothing higher. If they do not have permission by the author, every other statement regarding this matter is presumed irrelevant and opine as entities may not require one to act or perform for their own benefits. When it is not a matter of law nor lay claim to man or woman to acquire an express contract. The acquiring of the physical body is indeed human trafficking, enslavement, and the harboring of captives by the city, county, and state as a body corporate is the acquiring of the living body of man for payment, the taking of data for personal use without one's consent or trespassing with solicitation, all men but him who has the very right. Maxims of law and equity. What is mine cannot be taken away without my consent. Equity will not aid a volunteer. Equity will not perfect an imperfect gift. Possessor has right against all men but him who has the very right. Under the 12 presumptions of law by a bar guile member of society. That means your public defender right here. You write it out and you say, I rebut all your presumptions that you're a guardian over me, that you own me, or that you're my custodian, or any of these 12 presumptions of law. Non-trustee rebuts all presumptions of guardianship, ownership as a custodian, volunteer suretyship, claims of probating man, woman as a corpus descendant, bonded, insured, a debtor, a person that the representatives, lawyers, or public servants, acting on behalf of entities of the same district, city, county, or state. As one who swears oath unless presented certified. The summoning of I in court as a trustee. The presumption that as executor and beneficiary, the acting of agents and agencies with authority by claiming, I understand. The presumption of guilt, the presumption that I am competent or any other form of presumption. The applicant assert a right of some significant substance as to opposed to a claim for relief based on an injury to mere emotional or dignitary interest unless rebutted under oath. You swear before I am orally and in writing. Now let's see the United States Articles of Incorporation, whereby defining the United States as a private business, current status active, it's inactive over this court case right here. It's out of business. Proclaiming full right of authoring this word structure. Friday at 13 by author, small letter N, I, N, E, E. Status, sovereign Diné, Bikaya, live in law and inland native survivor. Status, freedom delegation. Whereas per the Crown copyright in the Information Age, the U.S. model excerpt states in according 1.18 Section 105 of the U.S. Copyright Act provides that copyright protection is not available for any work of the United States government. Court judgments are also in the public domain. However, American states and local governments are left to decide whether their own works will have copyright protection, and these are actively protected. Whereas, per the Copyright Act of the United States, copyright protection exists from the moment a work is created in a fixed property of the author who created the work. Only the author or those deriving their rights through the author can rightfully claim copyright. In the case of works made for hire, the employer, not the writer, is considered the author. Proclaiming full right of authoring of this word structure by author Nene, status sovereign, Diné Bikea, alive in law, and inland native survivor, freedom delegation. First cell, under the First Cell Doctrine, section 109 of the Copyright Act. Ownership of a physical copy of a copyright protected work permits lending, reselling, disposing, etc. of the item. However, it does not permit reproducing the material publicly, displaying it, or performing it, or engaging in any of the acts reversed and are reserved for the copyright holder. Why? Because the transfer of the physical copy does not transfer the copyright holder's rights to the work, even including an attribution on a copied work. For example, putting the author's name on it does not eliminate the need to obtain the copyright holder's consent. To use copyrighted materials lawfully, you must secure permission from the applicable copyright holders or a copyright licensing agent. Now, my claim is my word, and I now stand silent. Mark my impression by non-trustee. With prejudice, all rights reserved without recourse. In a local in care of, notary acknowledges that it's me right here in Albany on July 11. Now I'm showing you how all I authored my document here, what I did. You author your own, make your own. Learn what is an ecclesiastical deed poll. It's serious enough that it won court cases. So if I was you, I will be studying. And this is served on capital letters that are entity Duns and Bradstreet numbers. You can send this to AIM and say, release my soul to American Indian Movement. I don't want to be under Dennis Banks and Leonard Peltier. I don't want them to be stealing my soul. And basically, these are pedophile kind of people. These kind right here. They take it in the ass and give it in the ass. They're pedophiles. They're like fish. Do what fish things do. And you know all those things they do out there. Cause chaos, transgender, casino, rape, murder, molest. So I had enough of that life, and I did this. I wasn't successful in having a family life. And again, I mentioned at the beginning of this, my clan, Twitchini, Bitterwater, the Bitani side too, they all joined the military. They all joined these people, this kind, these pedophile kind. They live among them out there in the cities. And they try to be good citizens. I could not cut it as a citizen. I might be poor and not rich with your counterfeit dead president dollars. In fact, I think I have only $1 in my goddamn wallet right here, and so this is how I teach the world that some of us are not made out of counterfeit dollars. Some of us have some heart. I brought children into this world, and they didn't ask to sign up for this, so I didn't sit in the hospitals and tell the doctors, prick their foots and let's do this. Let's make some trust accounts out of them. I didn't do that. So I hope some of you learn about these things. What happens with that drop of blood? It turns into all these companies and LLC, INC corporations. That's my little clip about a court case that everybody from New York to California, from Andrew Cuomo, Eric T. Schneiderman, Donald Trump, Loretta Lynch, from this court case right here. There, I will share with you another document again. But if anybody wants to support me in the court cases, and it does cost some some counterfeit dollars, those entity fax machines and those entity um, copy machines and stuff like that costs out here in Arizona, even out in the POW camp at a chapter house. That shit costs over $1.50 per page, some 85 cents, and you got to drive a long ways to get to those machines. There's only 3 libraries out here, so I'm out here checking on my Hogan and catching up on some Sweat Lodge and Cache and got to a signal area out here and sharing this knowledge with you. But anyone can send a money order or $20 or something. There's the address, PO Box 501, and I'll keep trying to share some more documents. I'll share from this court case that the result from this court case getting dismissed right here got dismissed it, at the court case is 1310007. That court case got dismissed and it resulted in 27 charges of genocide. Hold on 1 second. All right, so also here the same what I just showed you guys on that court case right there in Albany, New York, happened in 2016. And over here and in Arizona, they tried to arrest me. They did arrest me, and they took me in and tried to turn me back into John Doe again, just like what they did over there. They changed the name to NI and then NEE, and then tried to change it to Joe, JOE, and then last name Emerson. So in that court case right there in New York. I sent it to these guys over here at New York. Also, I mean at Arizona. And I sent them the whole court case too, that and the claim. There was a claim that I made with this court case, and there it is right there. I'm gonna show that to you right here. So all that information right there, that's dealing with this court case up here that got filed into Albany Supreme Court. The court case, it made the Franklin County dismiss 13 charges. It told them you got to dismiss it. Here's that case. So all this happened from this St. Regis Mohawk tribe right here. Matt Rourke, William Ransom, and Cook, Wanda Johnson, Donald Smoke, Sway, a whole bunch of motherfuckers were all involved in this, and they were a lot of Wolf Clan. And I got set up. They stole some shit from me. They stole some very serious belongings. And because of that incident, we all got into it. And here's Nene trying to get the fuck away from them, leave, head back down here to Arizona. They claimed that my license was, well, they charged me right there's the name. You see that's in capital letters, N-I. See how they wanted to just make up a ghost? So any of you, this can happen to you. You can be an MMIP real fast if you don't know your shit. Cops will grab you up, make up a name, and if you don't know shit, they'll go over and grab your arm and bend your wrist and put your fingerprints to a false name and fucking throw you into solitary, and you don't got no family, you don't got nothing. Nobody don't care all these days. Nobody don't care about each other. So you better start caring about each other, because some of your kids, some of your moms, dads, uncles are in jail and prison because they don't know the system and they don't know how crooked and corrupt is Andrew Cuomo, Donald Trump, and the opposite, the Democrat people too. So this was a joint effort from Democrat. This was a joint effort from Republican. This was a joint effort from the United Nations. And especially these motherfuckers called St. Regis Mohawk tribe. Why am I so angry? Well, these motherfuckers right here that are supposed to be this Mohawk people are the ones that made an agreement to uphold that Turo Wampum Treaty Belt. Well, a little high-speed chase into Canada, back over to United States side, and then I parked for them. Got out of the truck because I didn't do anything wrong. Got out of the car. They didn't do fuck to me. I wasn't all these things that they claimed right here. If you steal from warriors and headmen, you're lucky to live. Mohawk people, remember that. Maybe you learn not to steal. Maybe you learn how to appreciate. Maybe you're gonna make a pilgrimage over here and shine my moccasins, or shine this Turo Wampum Treaty Belt. But for that many years, I fought you. I came over there. I fought you. Right there at that church, right there in your homelands. And I'm still alive right now, telling you what pieces of shit you are. But I got that Turo Wampum Treaty Belt here, safe here. It's that little ceremony with it this morning again. You guys tried to make me look bad right here. You guys look bad. There's the case number. 131, 4 zeros and a 7. That's not my name. You guys are still just a ghost, people. Since this court case, I've been arrested a lot of other times where I had to enter this as exhibit into the courts. So from this piece of paper right here, this court case, I charged these people 27 charges of genocide I put on them. And that's right here. That's received March 2, 2018. Court of Claims, State of New York. What did he make a claim for? He made a claim for 128989, claim number. The X is my clan mother authority. That's my name and that's my mark. And it's against the capital letter entity right there. Et al. And at that time, the attorney for the defendants was Eric T. Schneiderman and Loretta Lynch for Donald Trump. Eric T. Schneiderman for Andrew Cuomo. That's for a lot of zeros right here. Gold mint. Gold mint coin. Not for counterfeit, because as you know, in Turtle Island and whatever this bankrupt shit happened to these people, you can't pay a debt with this counterfeit dead president of George Washington or any of them. Pedophiles. So for everybody right there, while it's arresting me, while it's imprisoning me, identified the items of damage and injuries claimed to have been sustained. Crimes against humanity, human trafficking, fraud upon the courts, violation of diplomatic immunity, kidnapping, war crimes, genocide, violation of international treaty laws, violation of United States treaty laws, violation of the Constitution for the United States, and violation of the Turo Wampum Treaty Belt. This claim certified 90 days of accrual on Eric T. Schneiderman and Loretta Lynch, Attorney General and Attorney General. Eric T. Schneiderman is the Attorney General for the original 13 slave colonies, what you call Commonwealth today. Loretta E. Lynch is the Attorney General for Washington, D.C., Donald Trump. They were all served. I was already transported. When I won this court case over here, and all of the charges got dismissed. Right here, when all the charges got dismissed on that date right there, 9/20/2016, They threw me in a white paddy wagon and transported me 6 days all the way back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So in Albuquerque, I had just won. In New York, I stayed in 9 months again in Albuquerque. That case is 2014 03667. I went to a 2 day jury trial. I won again there in a 2 day jury trial. So I shared that on one of my other videos about that court case. But you gotta win to be able to get the claim. Money is not important to me when you are capable enough to sustain yourself. And so far, I'm able to sustain myself. I make my artwork. I make my music CDs. I used to hustle a lot, so now I'm just trying to do a little bit of um, farming and gathering and the things that I need here. And that's about it. From my hogan to yours, hokahe.